So here's what we're going to do. The first thing that you got to look at when you see these, right? So yesterday it was like already in y equals format, right? And so y was alone. But before in our lessons, right, if y wasn't alone, you have to get it alone first. So I'm going to kind of do this over to the side a little bit where I've got space. So I'm going to do the work for this maybe over here, and then I'll list my slope and y-intercept, okay? So one thing that if you notice y is not alone that might help you out is put the hidden 1 in front of it. You only need it if y is not alone to help you out. Okay, so given that information, right, -1's already on the other side. So we got to move 2x and we have to move a 1, right? So what would be the opposite of positive 2x? Negative or minus, right? So that's going to be our first move, is to cancel the 2x by subtracting it. And then we're going to cancel it on this side, like this. Does anyone remember how we get the 1 out? Like when it's right next to the y, what do? We divide. That's right. We're going to divide everything now by 1. And this is why you have a calculator today. Yesterday, we didn't really need it. Today, you're going to need it so that we can rewrite the equation. So now the only thing left is y, so we're going to write that down. And then we're going to divide each term. So we got -1 divided by 1. Positive or negative? -1. And now we've got -2 divided by 1 is -2, and we put the x back on it. Okay, now this is the equation that we're going to use to find rise over run and to find y-intercept, okay? So in this case, be careful. Which number is my slope? Is it the -1 or the -2? The -2, because it's next to x, right? So -2 is my rise. What's my run? 1. Remember, if there's not a run, or every time there's a missing number in math, it's always a 1. Okay, then we're going to find y-intercept. In this case, what is our y-intercept? -1. Good. Okay, and now to put it on the graph, and I'm going to grab a little ruler for mine because I can actually use it on screen. Where do I start? Where is my first dot going to go? Where's the first dot going to go? Ashanti, where does it go? Yeah, y-intercept is where I start this graph. All right, so -1 on the y line is right here. Even though it's not labeled, right, it's got a mark there. So down 1 is where we start the graph. Now I'm going to use the rise and the run, okay? So -2 means up 2 or down 2? Down 2. So from this red dot, I'm going to go down 1, 2, and I'm going to go right 1. Because -2 in this case means down 2, and +1 on the bottom means right 1. And then you've got 2 dots. That's really all you need to be able to make a graph is 2 dots. You can have a bunch of them, but then you're going to take your ruler. Now, the best way to do a good line is you take your ruler and you take your pen or your pencil and you line it up on one dot and then see where the other one is. Then you do the line from side to side on the graph, and it will go through both, and you end with 2 arrows. And that's the graph of the line. Okay, good. One more for notes today, okay? So if you slide down, right, we have example 4 right here. All right, so again, if you look at this equation, y is very clearly not alone, is it? So 10 is all good, but we got to remove the 4x and this 2. Which one do we remove first? The 4x. What's the opposite of 4x? Negative or -4x. Yep, so we're going to -4x here to cancel it, and then -4x on this side. Is this a positive or negative 2? Negative. How do I get that one out? Divide it. Perfect. So we're going to divide by negative 2 to cancel it and divide each of these by negative 2. And now we got to rewrite the equation, okay? So use your calculator to make sure you've got right answers. Our first term is 10 divided by negative 2. What do we get? Thank you. And then now I've got negative 4 divided by negative 2.
2.
Positive 2. Which one gets the x? 2. Okay, perfect. Now we've got the equation. We can do we can do exactly as we did yesterday. We start with rise over run. Which number is going to be my slope? The negative 5 or the 2? The 2. Is that the rise or the run? The rise. No run, so what do we put in? A 1. Good. So now we do y-intercept. What does that have to be? Negative 5. Good. And now, so notice we do all this work, right? And we get here. And then when we graph, basically, we start where we ended, right? So we're going to start by graphing negative 5. Remind me, do I use negative 5 on this line right here? Or do I use the negative 5 down here? Down there, because this is our y-axis, right? Going up and down here is y-axis, and it's the y-intercept we're looking for. So negative 5 would be between negative 4 and negative 6. So we start there. And then where do I go from that spot? Up 2, because 2 is positive, and 1 is positive. So where do I go there? Right 1. Yep. So from my spot, I'm going to go up 1, 2, and I'm going to go right 1, and you make your second dot. And that's all you need. And then you take your ruler. Again, we'll do it one more time. I'll show you. You put your pencil or pen on one of those dots, then use your ruler to line it up so that you can see the other one. And then make sure you start at the bottom of the graph and make your line go all the way through it and put arrows at the ends. And that is our answer. Okay, that's it to help for the video. If you are working from home, we're going to do our assignment today. It's the slope number 4 worksheet.